Hello, everybody. Hey, welcome in to the OnlyBets Sports Betting Podcast alongside my co-host, SternBets, and DrewDelucchi. I am PrinceOfPicks. We have got the triple threat coming at you today. We're excited to cover the landscape of the sports world today, where we got matches taking place in the pitch, of course, so all across Europe. We've also got the NBA, college basketball, NHL. So we've got a variety of sports taking place today, and we're excited to get into all these picks. I'm curious to see what the boys have for us today. As well in various sports. So, really getting into the nitty gritty here of the sports equinox, if you will. Yeah, before we get into the picks, do us a quick solid if you can, guys. Head on over to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Give us a real quick rate, review, and subscribe. We appreciate all the support as always. And let's go ahead and start this show. I'm gonna pass it over to my co-host, Mr. SternBets, Mr. Boosh. What's going on, my guy?
Hey, brother. Good morning. Yeah, looking forward to getting into the sports equinox of I guess it's spring now. Almost spring. Doesn't feel like spring here in the
I know,
Northeast yet.
it doesn't. Yeah, not here in the Midwest either, but hopefully it's coming.
But yeah, I'm very excited. We got the PGA coming up. We got a big tournament there. We got, obviously March Madness. This is just really an exciting time. And like we've talked about yesterday, Champions League, you have the World Cup qualifiers, and I'm excited to hear how we all did yesterday.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I'll go ahead and recap. That's going to be a daily thing we're going to start doing here. And so for me, yesterday it was a bit of a rough day. We did cover with the Iceland +4 play. That one did cover. But what was crazy was how Liechtenstein didn't cover against Lithuania. That match was 2-1 at the half, which I was shocked that even Liechtenstein scored. I wasn't figuring that into my handicapping here. And so when they scored, I was more than certain that they were going to be able to cover. And then somehow Lithuania blew it up in the second half and scored 6 goals for the first time. And I think it was like 10 years. Lithuania hasn't scored 6 goals in that long of a time. So ended up winning that one 6-1. They actually scored in the final minute of the match, the last minute of stoppage time. They got a late goal, that 6th goal, which ended up making them win by 5. So unfortunately, we didn't get the second leg. Liechtenstein +4 in that one. And then the other match that I had was between Costa Rica and Bermuda. Costa Rica, they got 3 early goals within the first 20 minutes. But I will say I watched that match. Unfortunately, it was a tough watch. I'm not going to lie. But when you have money on a game, sometimes you want to see how things are going. And I will tell you, Bermuda had at least 2 to 3 really good chances to score. If they just had a little bit more quality, they would have absolutely got at least 1, 2, maybe even 3 goals in that match. So unfortunately, they weren't able to finish, and we did end up losing that one as well. But that's yesterday. We'll move on to today, and hopefully we can rebound here. I've got a few plays here on the pitch that I feel fairly confident about, and we'll see if we can kind of get back on the right track here.
Yeah, I also had a mixed bag yesterday. So I had 3 soccer plays that I wanted to play, and I chose the 2 that I felt most comfortable with. Of course, those are the 2 that failed, and the one that I didn't play, again, the Wolves, I gave that as a strong lean on the spread. And they not only covered the spread, they won the game again. I don't know what's happening with them.
Neither do I. But maybe, maybe I should change my stance on them. Maybe I'll start backing them here now because they've been playing outstanding. I don't know what happened, how the switch got flipped for them, but they've really had
Impressive.
some very impressive results recently. That was
Defense.
what
That's
defense?
defense.
Yeah, absolutely. Defensively, and what a hell of a win against a top team like Liverpool. Considering the season Wolves have had, that's just
Yeah.
that could be a season. I mean, we're winding down toward the end of the season in the EPL, but it could be a bit of a momentum boost for Wolves. And I think they're too far down on the table realistically to get out of the relegation zone. But I don't. You never know. I mean, they could go on a stretch here of 3, 4, 5 games, maybe get some points in all those matches, and we may be having a different discussion about Wolves. But yeah, very impressive. Absolutely.
Yeah. So that play didn't. I mean, I played it local myself, but no official play there. So that kind of stunk. Atletico Madrid, they got blown out 3-0. I was surprised. I think that they had some really decent chances, and they just didn't. They weren't pushing. They had a clear goal in that game, which was See if see if you can be beat by 4 goals.
Yeah, well, that's it. I tell you, that's a dangerous game to play against a team like Barcelona. It almost backfired. I mean, Barcelona probably could have ended up
Yeah,
getting a fourth goal at some
yeah,
point
they
in
could
that
have.
match. So, yeah, they played Russian roulette there, and this time they won. But yeah, I was surprised that they didn't even get one goal. I thought that was pretty surprising considering just the form that Barcelona's in and the aggressiveness that they played with. I thought that would absolutely lead to a minimum one goal. I had two goals for Madrid unofficially. So, but yeah,
Yeah. So the other game, so that was only a half a unit, but the other game that really surprised me was absolutely not a single goal in Bournemouth Brentford. That really stung. I don't think anybody expected that.
no, that
Um,
that got everyone for sure. Yeah.
yeah. And then just to carry on the bad roll, the Panthers just got demolished against the Devils. That was surprising. But at least my two NBA plays cashed and they were full units each. San Antonio Spurs, they just destroyed the Sixers. Not even close. That was
Mm,
pathetic.
yeah.
It was 111 to like 62 in
Yeah,
the third quarter.
that thing was over before it started. Yeah,
um,
Philly fought in the first quarter, and that was about it.
so I'm happy that I was able to find that trend. And then of course OKC and Miami both covered their individual spreads, which covered my two leg parlay there as
By
well.
the way, real quick, I just have to give a shout out to the NBA and NBC coverage last night for that Philly San Antonio game with the retro vibes, with the old school announcers, the old school pregame show, the graphics. I thought they nailed it. I thought they hit a home run with that. I was geeking out over it. I thought it just brought back so many memories from the NBA in its heyday, and it's when probably ratings were the highest that it had ever been. And nobody does the NBA better than NBC, and it was just really fun to see those guys back on TV and hearing their voices, and Bob Costas and Doug Collins and the Czar and Hannah Storm, all those. There was just it was. I thought it was probably the most fun broadcast of the entire season for the NBA, and I really hope they do it again because that was just a lot of fun. And maybe bring back Ahmad Rashad or something, bring some of the other old heads back that are still with us, and that would be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah, I didn't get to watch it, but maybe I'll just go back and watch it a little bit. I love when they do that in the MLB when they have like retro
Yeah,
night.
yeah. Even the
Um,
graphics were retro, like the pregame,
yeah.
like everything about it was just it felt so vintage. Just hearing their voices too, just brought back a lot of flashbacks. So I thought it was an awesome thing that I think every sport should really consider doing that at some point.
Yeah. And then the last play for me before we get to Drew's recap, I hit the first two legs of my three leg parlay for the World Baseball Classic, which was the top two exacta finish in Pool B for World Baseball Classic, USA to finish one, and Mexico to finish two. And I parlayed that with the Miami Heat and Oklahoma City Thunder money lines for like a minus 106 payout. But if you didn't catch that, I still highly recommend taking the top two exacta for the USA and Mexico to finish 1 and 2 as a parlay piece on your own. And then, of course, Canada and USA plays as well. Listen to yesterday's podcast or my articles on Substack to get those full plays. Gave them out yesterday. Drew, how was your day yesterday, man?
I went 1-3, unfortunately. So yeah, Georgia honestly shot crazy from three. If I'm gonna lose with Georgia, who was 150, like fifth ranked in the nation at shooting three, shooting 44%, then that's how I lose. Alabama had their chances, too many turnovers, and they still only lost by 10. Catchings, the guy for Georgia, went absolutely nuts. He scored like 30 plus points. I think he might have scored 40. And then West Virginia was looking really good. They're up by like 6 to 8 points majority of the game, and then they just absolutely collapsed in the second half. They allowed, I think, like a 20-0 run to Kansas State, and they are ruining their chances of getting at large bid because they're going to get demolished in the Big 12 tournament. And then San Diego State, man, they didn't come to play. They almost made a furious comeback. But luckily, the Oilers and Senators
Yes.
decided to
Yes, they
score
did.
a crap ton of goals. It was like 2-1 in the first period, right?
2-2. It was 2-2 at
2-2.
the end of the
Yeah,
first
2-2 in the
period.
first period. And honestly, I turned it off after that. I know anything can happen in hockey. I've seen nobody score goals the rest of the way, but I was like, usually when I see 2-2 in an Oilers game, they don't stop. So,
That
and
was
it
an
ended
excellent play.
it was an overtime. It was like 4-4. And then didn't the Senators win, right?
Oh, I don't care. I didn't care at that point.
Yeah, I think it was like it went to overtime like 4-4 and then it went into 5-4. But yeah, that was very easy. I know, like I said, in hockey, nothing is very easy because we've seen before even 2-2, they can stay that way because it happens. But yeah, good stuff on that part. I do want to say one quick thing because this game starts in 19 minutes. I know some people like to bet like early college basketball tournaments. There's a game at 10 between Bellarmine and Jacksonville. Like starts in like 18 minutes. Jacksonville versus Bellarmine guys. Personally, there's a look that I do like in this. I'm not going to necessarily make an official play because by the time we stop this, like, the podcast will be it'll be the game will already start by the time this is done. But I was going to put a little bit, like probably like 0.25 to half a units on it. I really like Bellarmine in this game. So it's funny. Jacksonville is no offense, all defense, and Bellarmine is all offense and not great defense. But Bellarmine is home. This is one of the conference tournaments where you get home court advantage. And I think Bellarmine's offense is going to be too much. I think for Jacksonville because they have consistent offense. I've heard people like, want Bellarmine. I've also heard someone that make a look of over 146.5 because usually Bellarmine or Jacksonville totals are too unpredictable. Like they'll be 33 points over the total, or they'll be like 10 points under the total. So, 146.5 isn't a bad look. I wanted to take it, but I'd rather just trust and pick a side than worry about a team scoring points. So I'm going to do Bellarmine at minus 130, use my Fanatics boost to bring it to minus 105 to beat Jacksonville here, especially at home. I believe it's let me double check, the Atlantic Sun League. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't mind that at all.
Yeah.
I like that play actually. I'm going to put a quarter unit in as well.
Because I was thinking about the total, but like if you look at the total trends, like they'll either finish way over the total or way under, and that's just too risky. I don't want to stress about points in a total. I wasn't convincing, so because like
Yeah,
the
and an
last game
off-peak
finished.
hour.
Well, the last
Like
game was
it's
77-70. I'd rather just root for Bellarmine to win, and they should. The only reason Bellarmine doesn't win is if Jacksonville decides to become Bellarmine on offense. So, yeah.
I love it. All right. Well, since we're already in college basketball, we're giving out plays. Why don't you hit us with what you got for today?
Oh yeah, might as well. Yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys that before the game starts in like 60 minutes or so. But perfect. Yeah. I would say there's a lot of games today, personally, and a lot of games that I don't have as much interest in because there's not as many games as yesterday. Of course, I think there was like 30 games. I know that sounds crazy, but yesterday was like 50 to 60. But when I was like looking through the slate, the one game that interested me was like one of the games that interested me was Miami at SMU. I'm surprised SMU is underdogs here, but I don't necessarily trust either of those teams to get the job. Trust either of those teams. SMU has been on a cold streak, and Miami is a really good team. I think they should win, but you don't know which SMU team you're going to get with Boopy Miller and crew. But my favorite pick of the day, I think I messaged to you guys, is it's one mid major conference that people may not know about, and then Big Ten conference, the Big Ten conference, Ohio State at Penn State. So I'm still sticking with people that are fighting for their at-large tournament lives. Ohio State, if you guys know, they just got a big win against Purdue, right? They're keeping the tournament, at-large bid alive. And what helped them was Indiana lost, West Virginia lost, and also lost, UCF lost. So they're getting there for the at-large bids. UCF, though, is in better waters than West Virginia because they have better wins and stuff like that. But Ohio State needs to be Penn State. I know I've talked about Penn State before. Penn State has been terrible this year. They just beat Iowa at home, but I don't think they've won back-to-back games all year in conference. And if Ohio State, I'm not taking their spread, but they need to win this game. I believe it's their last game of the season, I believe. And if they don't win this, they're going to be in big trouble. It's just one of those things like you can't just bank on winning your conference if you're not a mid-major, not a mid-major conference when you have to face juggernauts in the conference like Michigan, Illinois, and all of them above. And I know people say, "Oh, Michigan may not try." No, Michigan's still going to try. If Michigan's, you don't think if Michigan sees their rival Ohio State in the Big Ten conference, they're not going to try to whoop them. So you want to make sure that you beat Penn State here at their home. It's not that big of a travel spot. You're you're traveling from just where Indiana to Pennsylvania. That's not a big travel, guys. So they need to win this game. And then the next one is Robert Morris, Youngstown State at Robert Morris. Robert Morris, overall, I think they could possibly win this conference. I think they're the better team. I think they've actually beaten. They played Youngstown State twice this year, and they beat them twice. I know they say it's hard to beat the same team three times, but I believe Robert Morris also has home court advantage here. It's one of the conferences that does have a home court advantage. And if you guys don't know, this is the Horizon League. Horizon League is one of the most underrated conferences. People may know him for Robert Morris, Wright State, Detroit Mercy, and Oakland. Oakland's famous for that Gurkey guy who went off, and I think they made it to the Sweet 16. But yeah, and Youngstown State is one of the worst in the league. Robert Morris, my model gives us a -9 fair spread. They're an amazing offensive rebounding team, and I think they're just going to outdo Youngstown State here. I don't mind the 4.5 spread they have for Robert Morris, but I'd rather do the money line pair with another team that I'm safe with doing.
Yeah, I actually really like Robert Morris. I was happy that you put that in the play earlier today, and I saw it. Tom Casale, if you guys don't know him, he's on Sportsline, CBS Sports. He's a college basketball expert as well. He actually put in a play for Robert Morris to win the Horizon tournament, to be the Horizon League tournament winner at plus 290. I put a
I
half
did
unit
that
on
too.
that. Yeah, I think that's an excellent look there. Yeah, I'm happy that you did too.
Yeah,
You have
that's
any?
a one team that I like a lot too. And then there was other interesting games that were on real quick. There was other games I was looking at that were like later on in night. If anybody has any questions before I guess we move on to something else, if we have questions from me.
I did have a question in one game. I was looking for a money line parlay piece, and I was taking a look at Purdue at Northwestern. But Northwestern's been playing really well as of late, and Purdue has just collapsed. I took them last time as a money line parlay piece, and they did not come through. Can we expect them maybe to bounce back today? What's your thoughts on that game?
So I thought they're going to bounce back at the Ohio State game, but I was wrong. But to be fair to Purdue, I always stress this when it comes to college basketball, guys, is when teams shoot out of their minds, you don't always look at that, right? So, like for example, Ohio State, I think shot like 60% from the field. I think they shot like 70% in the second half. But Northwestern is not a bad team by any means. I know their record shows that, but it's just that conference is so hard, kind of like the Big 12. They have one player on there who's really good from Northwestern, Martinelli, and he's a problem in the paint. I think Purdue should bounce back, but they still scare me with how they've played.
Okay, so I was right for laying off them today. That
Yeah,
wasn't the right play. Okay,
like
okay.
honestly, it could be obvious. Like hindsight is 2020. If they blow them out, then it's like you can't hinder on and be like, oh, I should have.
Yeah, by the way, I can't get the hindsight is 2020. There was a meme going around during COVID. It was saying the hindsight was 2020, and it was like a traveler from the future looking back at 2020 being an absolute mess. Sorry. Anyway. All right.
That's funny.
Anything else in the college basketball world?
Yeah, so we have conference tournaments, guys, coming up for the mid majors. Some be aware when you do bet on them. Double check if they're neutral courts or home courts. Those are a big deal, in my personal opinion, because no, there's no like main conferences that have home court advantages. Like for example, there's a game coming on at I think 2:30 p.m. Eastern. Florida Gulf Coast, North Alabama, Florida Gulf Coast. I think Florida Gulf Coast has home court advantage. And then yeah, look for the mid-major conference tournaments. Like they're going to be the easier ones to bet than the Power Five conference tournaments. One of the main reasons why is because, like I said before, majority of these mid-major teams need to win. Actually, probably all of them need to win their conference to in order to go to the big dance. So be aware of that. Like these tournaments are more important than the regular season for most of these mid majors because they're the only chances they'll get to go to the tournament. That's it.
Yeah. I'm not putting you on the spot because we have some time. Do you have any other conference or tournament winners in their respective
Yes.
divisions or whatever? Because you did mention that you may like Robert Morris and you put a bet on them. Who else do you have?
Yeah, definitely. Let me double check something.
Like, I think that there's a lot of value in finding some of these smaller conferences and figuring out, because it's really just like, if a team is really known, then the favorite gets bet on a lot by the public and the value slips away. But for some of these smaller market teams, there's not a lot of public money coming in, so that you can usually get a much better price than, let's say, betting Boston in the NBA or something. I don't know. It's a bad example.
So
But,
I actually
Purdue.
so there's some mid-major teams that of course are like minus 200 and stuff, but there's a 3-man combo that's not a bad combo. I think it's like plus 184 for this combo that to win the conference tournament. I know that's a little scary, but this isn't a really bad one. If you pick High Point to win the Big South, UMBC to win the American East, and Navy to win the Patriot League. The reason why I say those guys is Big South is basically just a High Point and Winthrop division kind of thing. But I think High Point is by far, as we know, we always see High Point in the tournament. I think they're by far the best. I don't see anybody beating them in the tournament. UMBC owns the American East now. Vermont is not what they used to be. UMBC's on a roll. Like their last game against at NGIT, they didn't have to win that game. They just blew them out. I don't see anybody competing. And then Navy's the class of the Patriot League. So I think Navy, no one's going to be Navy in the Patriot League. That's one of them.
Yeah, that sounds great. And by the way, I need you to send me these so that I can get it out on social media, because I think this is excellent.
Yeah. And then there's 2 more to look at. I would say there's the Coastal Athletic Association. That's the one that has like Hofstra, UNCW, and stuff. I like UNCW at plus 260. I'm surprised Hofstra is favored over them. They just got a big win to win the conference outright. I think they win that conference. Even Charleston's plus 500, which I was surprised about. But I think UNCW wins that conference outright. And then I have a sleeper one for the Big Sky. Northern Colorado at plus 425. They've been playing great. So, yeah.
Awesome. Yeah, we actually have a question from Michael here, who's a regular listener, sometimes contributor, and I know that we're going to listen to him later for our Celtics play from Prince. But what do you got for us, Michael?
Just nothing. Just breaking NFL Chiefs news. Since I'm a Chiefs fan, the Chiefs have just traded Trent McDuffie for a first, a fifth, and a sixth, and a 2027 pick.
Wow, that's actually very interesting. That's a rebuilding tool, right? Move right there.
Mm-hmm.
Who was it to?
To the Rams.
Oh, that sucks. As a Niner fan.
So I won't be able to give my Celtic take today. I gave Prince some notes and we talked it over, but I won't be able to give my Celtic take today because I'll be busy at work.
All right, I appreciate you, Michael. Thank you so much.
Yep.
And anytime you want to come on, you know that you're always more than welcome.
Thanks, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I'm excited. This is our residential Celtic expert, and we had a lot of success with him in the conference league. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Basically, BTTS and over 2.5 goals is something that you want to look at anytime Celtic is on the pitch. All right. Before we move on to day soccer with Prince of Picks, do you have any other last final thoughts, Drew?
No final thoughts from me on that.
All right, so we're just going to transition straight to day soccer. Soccer. I want to call it European football, but I think that's weirder. Prince, what do you got for us today?
Yeah, you call it what you want, right? It's all the same. But yeah, so real quick, guys, I'm gonna actually hit you guys with a curveball here. We're gonna go with a live bet here. We got a kickoff here taking place in about 5 minutes as we're talking live here. It's a 12 p.m. Eastern kickoff. And I'm gonna give this as a way to kind of incentivize you guys to maybe start listening live. We are live Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern on Twitter, Spaces, X, whatever you want to call it. You can find the link over at SternBets over on X. That's STERN Bets. That's going to be on X there. Again, Monday through Friday. One word, yep. And then Monday through Friday, 11:30 a.m. Eastern. So here, real quick, here, live bet alert. We are going to the CONCACAF U20 Championship. Now, this is going to be available on Bet365. I got a two-leg parlay here for you guys. I am looking at Barbados taking on Bermuda. I like a lot of goals in this one, over 2.5 goals. And we're going to parlay that with the match taking place tonight. Again, in the CONCACAF U20 qualification, we're looking at Costa Rica and Trinidad and Tobago. Again, over 2.5 goals. So, real quick, Barbados, Bermuda, over 2.5. Parlayed with Costa Rica, Trinidad, over 2.5. And you're going to get that parlay at minus 105. So, I want to get that real quick here before the match takes place here. But other than that, let's go ahead and get into the official plays where I have got a play in the EPL. 2:30 p.m. Eastern kickoff. We got Manchester City going to be hosting Nottingham Forest. I have a two-leg parlay for this play as well. The first leg is going to be Manchester City team total over 1.5 goals. But we're looking at Man City here. They have a combined 11-0 scoreline in their last three hosting Forest. So when Forest has had to go to Manchester City here, they have struggled tremendously, not even scoring a goal. Now, you could take Man City to win to nil or even Nottingham Forest to not score. You will probably get a really good price at that. For me personally, I don't trust Manchester City's defense enough for them to keep a shutout, even though the stats might support it. I would trend go in a different direction here. I like Man City to score goals. They've scored 2+ in 8 of their last 9 and 7 straight at home. So Manchester City, when they're at the Etihad here, they tend to score goals. So I like them here. Man City team total over 1.5. We're going to parlay that with another match here. This one's going to be taking place in the England National League. So this is the 5th division in the English football pyramid. We have a match taking place between Gateshead and Braintree Town. We're looking at Gateshead here specifically. A really, really poor defensive team. They have allowed a whopping 76 goals, dead last defensively in the England National League table here. They have allowed over 2.3 goals per match, has Gateshead. So, and not only that, they've allowed a goal in 20 straight matches. So this is a Gateshead side that is just really struggling defensively. And when we're looking at Braintree, they have scored in 8 straight head-to-head against Gateshead. So my second leg of this parlay, we're just looking for Braintree to score here. We're going to take Braintree Town to score a goal, parlayed with Manchester City team total over 1.5 goals, and you're going to get that parlay at minus 114. Moshe, I know you were kind of on the EPL today. Do you have any thoughts on that?
I love that Man City play. I very, very, very nearly took that as a parlay piece to get my juice on my parlay down, but I decided to keep it as a money line parlay instead of mixing in soccer. But yeah, I think you're right that Man City is a beast offensively, and I think that they're looking to ramp up towards the Champions League next week.
Yep, absolutely. So, okay, great. And then next up, we're going to go to a 3 p.m. Eastern kick here. We're going to go to the French Cup. I believe it's called the Coupe de France in some of your books here. We're looking at the quarterfinal stages here where we have Marseille taking on Toulouse. I like Marseille here in 2 different aspects. I like Marseille team total over 1.5 goals, and I also like them on a double chance. And if you parlay those together as an SGP, you're going to get that at minus 110. When we're looking at Marseille, they have scored 2+ goals in 11 of their last 13 matches versus Toulouse, and 8 of their last 12 overall. But not only that, here Marseille come into this one undefeated in 17 straight matches against Toulouse. So safe to say Marseille has had Toulouse's number here, and I really like them on a double chance to avoid a defeat and get over 1.5 goals. Again, you're going to get that SGP, same game parlay, at minus 110. Anything for you on this one, Mosh?
Nope. Following, watching. It's one of our favorite leagues to bet in.
Awesome. Yep, sure is. And then finally here, we got another 3 p.m. Eastern kickoff here. We're going to go to the Scottish Premiership here, where we have a massive, massive matchup between Aberdeen, who is going to be hosting Celtic. We mentioned this before. Celtic is a VTTS and over 2.5 machine. This has hit in 11 of the last 15 matches for Celtic. And Celtic, they are really in a must-win situation here in the remaining 5 games. There's only 5 games left in the Scottish Premiership. And so if they want any realistic chance at getting the number 1 top of the table here in first place, they're going to have to pick up 15 points in all 5 of these matches. I don't think they can afford to even draw a match. I think if they only get a point from either of these 5 matches, you could pretty much say that their chances are going to be slim to none in terms of getting top of the table here. So they're in a must-win situation. And so for that reason, I do think if we see a 1-1, 2-2 type of scoreline, maybe 75th, 80th minute, you're going to see Celtic probably bring on some attacking players, probably change their formation to a more attacking formation, and really go off all out for the goal here, because a draw pretty much is going to eliminate them from any type of realistic contention for the top of the table. So a must-win situation for Celtic. BTTS and over 2.5 has hit regularly in their matches. I think it hits again. I don't trust them to keep a clean sheet here, but I do think we're going to see a lot of goals here. So BTTS over 2.5 goals, minus 110.
Yeah, this might be my favorite play of the day. This is just a phenomenal value. I don't know why the books keep giving us BTTS and over 2.5 goals when Celtic plays. I don't get it.
No, it doesn't make sense, because they can't keep a clean sheet, but they're scoring regularly right now. So especially in the Premiership. So yeah, given the circumstances, that's just even more of a reason. Like I said, a draw is almost as good as a loss for them at this point of the season. So yeah, can't see anything less than that in my opinion.
Yeah, can't ask for anything more. Any other tips or live looks that we should be on the lookout for today? I know that there's a lot going on, and I definitely appreciate your insights on whatever's going on during the day, especially while I'm at work.
Yeah, there's a lot. Yeah, no, there's a lot going on for sure. I would just say, in general, just keep an eye on the EPL. That's one of our higher scoring leagues. We do have the Swiss League in action as well. And so if you want to look at some live betting angles for the Swiss Super League, that's one of our favorite leagues to bet on. We tend to see a lot of goals there. So maybe if you see some low scoring games, I think there's 3 matches today in the Swiss Super League. So if you see some low scoring ones there, you can look at live bets for that as well. And Michael, I see you're here. Are you able to give some insight here on Celtic?
So yeah, just great play. It's fine. So the only knock with Aberdeen is they're sitting 8th in the table right now. They haven't scored in their last 2 games, so take that for what it's worth. And then actually, there's 10 games left in the Scotland top flight. So you have these last 5 games, and then what the league does, they'll split in half, and they'll take the top 5 teams, and they'll play each other once, and then the bottom 5 teams will all play each other. So you still have another 10 games left.
Okay, it's one of those leagues. Okay, I didn't. Okay,
Yeah.
that's my mistake. I oversaw that. Yeah, I know what you're talking about, where you have the top half play each other, and then the bottom half plays each other, basically to avoid relegation, right? That's kind of what it is.
Exactly.
Okay. Okay. Well, my mistake on that one. That's an oversight on my end, and thank you for clearing that up for me. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for clearing that up, because that definitely makes an impact. But regardless, I still like BTTS and over 2.5. That was just a little bit of that for me. That was just a cherry on the top. But I still think Celtic. They want to get as many points as they can before that split happens. So. Yeah, but thanks again, Michael. Appreciate it as always.
Yeah, sometimes it's hard going through all this data, making sure that everything is correct and right. If you're reading articles,
yeah, you got a lot of
things.
games. Yeah, absolutely. It's sometimes every now and then you might miss something. So yeah, I appreciate that though.
All right, let's move into the NBA. I want to hear your thoughts here. I do have a parlay piece here, not particularly exciting, but there's a small slate tonight. Is there any games that you're looking at?
There are, but real quick, let me go ahead and just give a quick recap, because we've been doing awesome over in the VIP channel on our NBA plays. We went 6-3 last night in our pregame NBA locks. That puts us at about a 15-9 record for the month of March, which just started. But we are coming off of 4 consecutive months of profitability in our pregame NBA locks. Not to mention, we went 5-0 in our NBA first quarter play, so we had a 5-0 sweep. Again, that's all exclusive to the VIP channel. So for those who are interested, we've got some great plays over on the VIP channel, a bunch of exclusives. We are cashing tickets left and right over there. So come join us. Come join us on the channel. You can find it on a pinned post on my X profile. That's at PrinceOfPicks 10, where you can find information on how to sign up. It's super easy, super simple, and it's a lot of fun. And we've just been cashing out a bunch of tickets in the NBA. So just want to get that out there. But in terms of today's slate, As I pull it up here, it is a smaller slate, a little bit of a trickier slate. I liked last night's slate a lot better than I do tonight's. But a couple plays that I have in mind here. I like the Knicks here on a +4.5 spread, taking on the Thunder. I think this is a good spot for the Knicks, actually. I actually think the Knicks match up pretty well with the Thunder. And I think, the Garden's going to be on fire tonight. This is, a West versus East matchup where, you only get two shots at playing each other. And I think this could be somewhat of a statement game for the Knicks. I like the way the Knicks are playing, especially defensively. They've kind of turned it up a notch here. So I think getting points with the Knicks at home against the Thunder team, that their lineup's been rotating a lot. So you might get some inconsistent play there just based on their the variance in their lineups. But I like the Knicks here in this one. I think we're getting good value at +4.5 for them. And then one other play, and then I'll get your thoughts after this. But another one that I like here would probably be the Hornets here, +6.5. I know the Celtics are on fire, but so are the Hornets. And I think the Hornets are still being a little bit undervalued by the books. And I think the Hornets, they're hot right now, and I really like the way that they're playing. And I think their athleticism is going to cause some problems for Boston. I'm not so sure if they're going to win outright, but I'll take the 6.5 here on a red hot Hornets team taking on the Boston Celtics. Those are probably my two favorite. I like the Blazers Grizzlies over 237.5. I think that one could be a shootout. I don't see either team really playing defense in that one, so I think we can see a ton of points in that game. Other than that, that's probably my three best looks. What do you have any thoughts on any of the slate tonight?
Yeah, I did want to look at the New York Knicks, but I couldn't for the life of me get there. It's too scary against an OKC team with all their pieces back. The one look that I am going to get in and get out is I'm going to take the Clippers in a money line parlay here. The Pacers are decimated by injuries. Zubac's out, Neesmith's out, Siakam's out, Halliburton is out. I just don't think that they have any pieces to really compete right now against the Clippers team that is actually rolling, which is not something that I would have expected to say this year. So yeah, that's going to be the first leg of my money line parlay. And then we have a special guest today who's going to bring us into the NHL. But if either Drew, Prince, you want to give over one more piece in the NBA before we move into the NHL, this is the time.
I don't have anything. I don't really like any totals or anything in the NBA that I was trying to look at.
Yeah, it was a tough slate, for sure. Okay.
Yeah,
Sorry,
real quick. Yeah, I totally forgot about the Clippers game. I'm all over that. Of course, I've talked many times about the Pacers and their incentive to lose. And yeah, the Clippers are rolling right now. And I think that they probably win that by, I think they covered the 12.5 for sure. So yeah, I'm totally forgot about that one, but yeah, absolutely, I love that one as well.
Yeah, it's hard to. It's Pacers.
You can't back the Pacers. I mean,
No.
not in any way, shape, or form should anyone be backing the Pacers. Not on team totals, not on spreads. You can't back a team that is as incentivized to lose as they are. So that's my motto, and I'm sticking to it.
Yep. And then I'm going to parlay the Clippers money line piece with a regulation 60-minute money line with the Carolina Hurricanes. They're facing the Vancouver Canucks. They're right. They've lost the last 5 in a row. I just don't see them being able to be competitive. These are honestly one of my favorite types of plays here. I was originally leaning towards Carolina team total over 3.5, but the juice was juiced at -143, which did not seem reasonable to me. But I think that they can get this done either in regulation or honestly, if you like the spread at -1.5, it's also juiced at -120, which is not great. But you can get my 60-minute money line on the Canucks parlayed with the Los Angeles Clippers for -120 over at FanDuel right now. And I'm going to turn the mic over to Squishy. I almost said Z Quishy again for maybe some other thoughts that he had. Squishy, how you doing, man?
I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on. I know I have to be quick, but I appreciate you inviting me. And yeah, I mean, Vancouver's pretty down and out. They can't score. They can't do anything. I know that the Hurricanes sort of had they had a 12 or 13. They had 12-point streak. I think that was just recently clipped in their last game against the Kraken, but they outshot the Kraken like 3-1. It was kind of one of those games and it was the start of their road trip. So I'm with you as a parlay piece for sure on Carolina. I can't any of that as a singleton. Too much juice, but definitely on it with you as a parlay piece. The two spots that I chose for this Wednesday hockey slate. I guess the first one that I'd like to talk about is the money line one that I have, which is the Islanders. They're out on a 5-game win streak. They're cooking on all cylinders. I really like them in terms of how they're playing right now. They're going to be on the road facing the Ducks. Ducks should be pretty tired. Their third game in 4 nights. They beat the Flames in overtime, shootout on Sunday, but then they got pretty humbled by the Avs last night.
That's an understatement.
I think it was like 5-1, and that was with Schmidt and net. Tonight they're putting out wrong game. That was with Dostal in net, and they should probably have Vile Huso tonight. I don't mind Rittich at all on the Islanders side. I like them. I like him. Versus, they beat the Ducks earlier this year. I think it was 5-2, something like that. They're 7-2 head to head in their last 9 matchups against the Ducks. So I like the rested away team. It's a pick'em line. This number's -110. You can get it on DKMGM. So again, that's the Islanders money line -110.
I love that look, man. And also, if you guys haven't been following, the Islanders have fallen behind in a few games here in the last 5 in their winning streak here, and they are consistently coming from behind to make the games competitive and then pulling off the win in the third period. It's really a lot of fun to watch.
Definitely. The second play that I am on today, which I'm going for positive scoring regression in the Vegas Red Wings game. Vegas is on a back-to-back. You saw them try and win it out, but they got beat last night, I think 3-2 by the Sabres. They're on road back-to-back and had Aiden Hill last night, so now they have they had Schmidt last night, which gets Aiden Hill in the net tonight. He's got a 3.47 goal allowed in his 14 games. He's a target for me to pick on right now until he can show me otherwise. Detroit, it looks like they're starting Cam Talbot in net. He's got 3.04 goals allowed. So I like this as a spot for positive scoring regression on both sides. I think that offense for the Vegas team got kind of messed up last game with Mark Stone being out with his injury. I don't know if he's going to be back, but either way, you get a push potential if it's a 4-2 game or 5-1 game. Having that being close to even money, I'd rather do that than a -5.5. I mean, you can get -5.5 line at -130 on DK on DraftKings, but I chose to go for over 6. So not much juice if I'm losing on this. I do like it to go over though. So
Nice.
Again, that's
nice.
Vegas, Detroit over 6 -104 on FanDuel.
I love it. I personally actually did take the over 5.5 at -130, but I think I'm going to cash that out and go with the over 6, just like you, man.
Guy,
I do have a. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. I have a question for you, Squishy.
Yeah.
What do you think of the Maple Leafs Devils game? I know Devils on a back-to-back, but don't you think the Maple Leafs are just desperate for a win now? What do you think about the Maple Leafs possibly winning this game?
Yeah, what's the line?
I think when I checked last, I may be wrong. It was Maple Leafs were +105. Let me double check.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing right now.
Oh, yeah, -105 in Fanatics, but I think they're +105 on DraftKings.
I think it's fully worth I may tell you. Let me look at it for a second. Just give me 1 second.
Because that line tells me everything. Maple Leafs have been struggling, and the fact that they're not more plus money is telling to me. I think they're just desperate for a win, and the Devils are on back-to-back, right? They won back-to-back games, but they haven't done great their last 6 games. And the Maple Leafs have fresher legs, and they need a win since the Olympic break.
So I actually was looking at this as well because I faded the Devils yesterday against the Panthers, And while the Devils did win 5-1, which was an embarrassing loss for the Panthers, I do fully. Obviously, I'm going to defer to Squishy. He is the residential NHL expert, but I very much expect them to regress tonight. Their only other win in the last 5 games was against the Blues, who are, again, like I said yesterday, they're among the 5 worst teams in the NHL. And again, of course, Squishy, if I've said any wrong information, please correct me, because I'm dabbling. You're the expert.
Yes, I'm double checking with him.
I think we might have either lost him or if he's on mute by accident. I'm not quite sure. Squishy, can you hear us?
We might have lost him.
All right. So if he comes back and he has an update for that would be great. But all right, let's move on.
Something I will say, look that I was looking at, I'm not making an official play, but I think the Kraken at I think it's 10 p.m. Eastern. It's a pretty late game, 8 p.m. my time. I think they're being undervalued here at home, in my opinion. The fact that they're only minus 145 against the Blues, and we all know how we feel about the Blues, is pretty disrespectful. I don't know. That's just my opinion.
Yeah, that game scared me a little bit.
Oh, yeah, that's why I'm hesitant to bet it, and it's so late. When usually it's really late games, I will see how my day goes, and then possibly like put like 0.25 on it,
Yeah, 100%. Let me just approve Squishy again. Sorry, Squishy, must have gotten kicked out by accident.
That's okay. What did you hear from me? If
Nothing.
nothing. Okay. So I was saying, that's awesome. So, okay. I was saying at minus 105, anything like that, I like that look. I was playing last night. I played New Jersey to beat the Panthers because I really liked how Markstrom played in net in the Olympics. All right, he had a solid Olympics, kind of outplaying his NHL counterpart. And now you got Jake Allen in net, who is not a drop off. Actually, his goals allowed is in the mid under 3 versus Markstrom, which is a little above 3. So not much of a drop off. You have Jersey, who is meshing well together. I think after the Olympics, they kind of got that distraction because they had Hughes sort of on his tour. But I think right now it's like, all right, now it's back in business. And so you get them playing Toronto, who you can't really trust much. I don't know. Their season's kind of whatever, but like I would take my chances with Jersey at home because they get the last line shift, and so everything's pointing towards if I'm being asked to pick a side, it's that one. I mean, I'm going to look at this a little more because I hadn't got a chance to look at it and I got to go to work, but like I might be all over this play with you.
All right, so just to clarify, we're on the Toronto side. Oh, whoops, I'm looking.
No. I'm on the Jersey side.
You're on the Jersey side. And somehow I switched to Thursday's schedule instead of Wednesday's schedule on my phone. That was fun. Always love when that happens when you have the wrong date pulled up. Okay, cool. So do not take Toronto yet. that's definitely the play then.
Yeah.
Or not the play, I guess you should say. Sometimes not playing the play is better than playing no play.
Because I thought the question was whether or not to back Jersey tonight.
Oh, I might have misunderstood that. Drew, do you want to step in for a sec?
Oh yeah, I was saying whether to back the Maple Leafs because they're desperate for a win and Jersey's like back to back. So I was curious on your take for that. That's what was my question because I trust you more when it comes to this stuff. It's probably not gonna be official bet for me, but I was just like curious for you on your thinking of it.
Well, let me. Oh God,
Or is it a game I should just stay away from because both teams are weird?
Yeah, that's such a good question. Yeah, I mean, like I had been looking at the research. I thought you were asking whether or not to back the Devils, and I was like, oh yeah, that might be a solid look. And I'm looking at it, I'm like convincing myself while I'm looking at all the stats. If you like Toronto there, it's if they're favored or if they're a dog at minus 105, like I mean, you may be right to wait it out and see what's going to happen.
So like kind of like a live look,
Yeah, exactly.
like see how they're playing.
Exactly. I tend to like I'm I'm kind of careful with the they need to win narrative. It's burned me too many times in other sports. At the same time, like, hockey's one of these awesome sports where you can be like, it's the one sport where you like not overthinking your plays is actually very beneficial.
Yeah, something to note on this game. I just looked up the money splits between Toronto and New Jersey, and the sharp money is solidly on Toronto. 78% to 60% on the spread, and 60.5% to 45% on the money line. Those are significant splits. Getting over 15% on both the money line and the spread shows that the sharp money is pretty solidly on the Toronto side here. Something else to note is that the lines are moving right now. There's money coming on Jersey's side, but the price isn't moving at all. So that's also another indicator that maybe the Sharps have a play on the Toronto side.
There you go, Drew. All right. I like that. See, that was a trio of half-baked brains.
I'm gonna play this for a half a unit, but Squishy, definitely let us know in the Discord or on Twitter whether or not I should cash that option out.
Gal, I'm gonna let you guys go now. I'm so sorry I gotta run. You guys are awesome.
Thank you so much for being on. You have a permanent spot anytime you want, man. I really appreciate your plays, and I love following you every day.
Man, that's high praise. I'm humbled. Thank you so much, man.
Have a wonderful day. And also for any of our listeners here, if you guys want to jump on, just request to speak and we'll bring you on. I think we're going to be coming to the end of our show here. I'm going to bring it back to Prince. Is there anything else that we missed or you wanted to talk about before we recap our best bets and then get on out of here?
No, I think we pretty much covered everything. Gave a lot of great looks and analysis here. So looking forward to telling all the picks. And yeah, we'll recap here shortly.
Yeah, by the way, if anybody is looking for a golf play, it looks like Colin Morikawa is going to be a very, very popular option this weekend. I'm not going to say anything more than that. I'm looking into where I want to play it, but a lot of the smartest people that I know are on Colin Morikawa this weekend in the Arnold Palmer Invitational. So I think it is, at least, unless I have it wrong on ESPN that I just pulled up. Yeah, Prince, what's up?
Yeah, real quick, I just want to give a live update here. We gave out a live play of Bermuda Barbados over 2.5 goals. First 20 minutes of the match, we already have 2 goals. So we're just looking for one more for the remaining, 670 minutes of the match. So I think we're in pretty good shape there. And I will update if we get a third goal here before the show's over.
Nice. I love it.
And live update for me, it's only 10 minutes in, but Bellarmine is up 16-12, so a lot more to go. Hoping them to win. And then lastly, I'll say something I forgot to mention. Sorry to interrupt you, Prince, but yesterday we saw USA destroy the Giants, America. But the not majority of the Giants players didn't play. Sadly, we didn't get to see Webb face the Giants. He didn't. I think he decided he didn't want to pitch against his own team, which I respect. But they decided, if you didn't see, to pitch a 10th inning so pitchers could get reps. That was pretty funny when the game was score was 15-1 and they had Bednar. I think they had somebody pitching in the 10th inning, but that was pretty fun to watch.
Yeah, you got to be careful with some of these non-official games where people might call out at the last minute. I'm having a hard time trying to handicap it. That's why I haven't brought any to the show. But I am excited for World Baseball Classic. And if you haven't followed those picks yet, I gave them out yesterday on the show. I really like Canada and I like the US. Shocking to nobody. All right, Drew, why don't you recap us with your best bets? I'll go and then Prince will close us out.
Oh yeah, definitely. And something I noticed also, Stern, is after that Giants game on Fanatics, the USA team moved from -110 to -115 for a portion. So that was good value. You got it. But anyways, my official official pick. I just have really one. It's Robert Morris and Ohio State money line paired. I believe you can get it from -112 on Fanatics. I didn't check DK, but that's it for me.
Yeah, and Robert Morris might be a good look at +290 to win that championship. I have a money line parlay in the NHL and NBA. In the NBA, I'm taking the Los Angeles Clippers. And then I'm pairing it with Carolina Hurricanes on the 60-minute money line for a payout at -120 over on FanDuel.
All right, sounds good. And then for me, finally here, we got some matches taking place over on the pitch. I like Man City here, team total of 1.5 in the EPL. We're going to parlay that with a game in the England National League, Braintree Town to score. You're going to get that parlay at -114. We're also going to go over to the French Cup, the Coupe de France, where we're looking at Marseille, team total over 1.5 goals, parlayed with a double chance for Marseille. That's going to be the same game parlay at -110. And then finally for me, we're going to go to the Scottish Premiership, Aberdeen taking on Celtic. I like both teams to score and over 2.5 goals at -110. Stern, Drew, Stern, I'll go to you. Any final thoughts before we get out of here, Stern?
Nah, man, I'm excited for the sports equinox here coming up, and this March is going to be a lot of fun. This March is going to be phenomenal, honestly.
Yes, sir. I totally
Yep.
agree.
Yep, and I
Anything
hope
from
we
you,
hit our
Drew?
bets.
Yep,
Yeah, we
as
got to do
always.
better.
Okay.
This is a bounce back day, and if y'all are
Yes.
listening, if we had a bad day yesterday, the next day to back us is the very next day when we regress to the mean, hopefully.
That's right. It's bound to happen. We're already on a good start here with our live bets. So let's see if we can keep the momentum going for today. But that's gonna do it for us, guys. For SternBets and Drew DeLucci and Prince of Picks. This has been the Only Bet Sports Betting Podcast. We appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And until next time, we will see you all soon. Thanks, everyone.